pregnant mom went to visit her daughter and suddenly felt a pain in her stomach. Lauren Doherty, 22, and Zach Greenwood, 26, are a young couple from Rossdale in northern England. The couple welcomed a beautiful baby girl into the world in 2015, and they named her Gracie. Doherty, who studied media, hair and makeup in college, later became a full-time mother to take care of her little girl. And that's when the couple got some fantastic news. Doherty was pregnant with her second child, but only 2 months after they found out they were having another child, something terrible happened. Doherty and Green received the terrible news that their daughter Gracie was seriously ill. Their child had an incurable brain tumor. As a result, the young parents were understandably devastated. But one heartbreaking question in particular played on their minds. Would their second child ever meet his older sister? After this heartbreaking diagnosis, little Gracie was transferred to Darien House Children's Hospice nearby. She was cared for by palliative care nurses, but Doherty and Greenwood were also able to stay with her as part of her respite care. And it was on one of those days that the most incredible thing happened. Doherty slept at Darien's house so she could be near her daughter. She suddenly felt aches and pains and bunnies. Now back to the story. Of course, it would have been easier to ignore as she hadn't been heavily pregnant. Doherty was 8 days past her due date. So she's going to give birth in a hospice. Doherty was taken to the hospital in Bolton in the middle of the night, but after a while the contraction she thought had stopped. So Doherty went back to the hospital thinking that was the end of the story. But later that day Doherty's waters broke the milk house, and there wasn't enough time to get her back to the hospital. So Doherty quickly realized she was going to give birth in a hospice. Doherty told a local newspaper, the Lancashire Post. It occurred to me that I might give birth, and we brought all the baby's stuff, but I didn't think it was going to happen. Well, it was happening right then. And there. One of the pediatric palliative care nurses, Louise Leach, did her best to take care of Doherty while they waited for the midwife to arrive. And then at 10:30 p.m. Doherty gave birth to a beautiful baby boy. Little Charlie Christopher was born safely after a quick delivery. Doherty told the Lancashire Post that she expected a long, slow labor. But I was wrong. And she also praised the Leach nurse's support. Doherty said Louise was brilliant. I couldn't have done it without her. She went on to explain how her partner Greenwood struggled to reach the midwife, but thankfully Nurse Leach was able to stay chilled amidst the panic. The birth of Charlie's baby was a first for the hospice, a place not normally associated with such a joyous crime. And the facility's executive director, Georgina Cox, rushed to congratulate the young couple. It was such a wonderful surprise to welcome little Charlie to the world here at Darien House, the first birth in our 24-year history, Cox said. Charlie's arrival meant a lot to the staff at Darien House. Cox described being touched by the pure joy on the family's faces, and she praised the way the nurses responded to the unusual predicament. This extra special delivery shows how our staff can rise to any occasion and provide the support our family needs. Whatever the situation, she said, and their efforts were certainly appreciated by Doherty. Darien House were terrific. I don't know what I would have done without them, she told ITV News. Moreover, the staff felt over the moon to be a part of such a special occasion, the Lancashire Post reported. Although Darien House is a place of treatment for unhealthy children and heartbroken families, Cox pointed out that Charlie's story brought joy to all involved. Indeed, the executive director described Charlie's arrival as a true symbol of hope in the darkest of times, and the most touching part of the story. Little Charlie met his big sister Gracie. After all, according to his mother, little Gracie took the chance to kiss him in a huge hug the first time she met her little brother. With Charlie safely delivered, the couple now wants to treasure the time they have left as a family of 4. We just want to spend as much time together as possible as a family, Doherty said. Unfortunately, it's unlikely Charlie will ever remember meeting Gracie. But perhaps there is some solace in the fact that he will always have pictures to show that he may once have spent some time with his special big sister.